We are currently in a hotel in Niagara Falls on the Canada side. We're a week into our trip around the world. We've taken 12 months off to travel with the kids, taken them out of school, and we're homeschooling. The plan is to see as much of the world as we can while we can. We didn't travel much when we were younger, so most places we're going to we haven't seen, so we thought it'd be a great experience for the kids to see that as well. Basically, this time last week, we were leaving at Melbourne Airport. We flew a 14-hour flight from Melbourne to LA. It was interesting. We left at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I think it threw the kids because we left at 10 o'clock Wednesday morning, flew for 14 hours, and then arrived at 7 o'clock Wednesday morning. So went back in time a little bit there. When we arrived, the hotel wasn't ready for us to check in. So we went to Costco. Kids were excited to see if the Costco pizza tasted different in America to as they did in Australia. We're staying about a 10-minute walk from Marina Del Rey. So we went down there for a walk, had a wander around. Lots of people playing volleyball. There was a park. We then went to a Mexican restaurant called Taqueria Chihuahua. I keep going to say Chihuahua, but Chihuahua, Taqueria Chihuahua. They're really nice. They gave us some free churros, which you're excited by. What do you reckon?
Really good. Beats the Costco one.
High praise.
They were jumping a puddle. Ryan meandered. And Andy got covered in septic sewage water. Oh, right up and on his neck. Meanwhile, Puds needs to wee.
We stayed at a place called the Kinney. It was I guess an eclectic backpackers, so it was pretty cool. They had a pool, they had Jenga, they had a gym which we
hammocks
did not use. The hammocks, no, the kids used those, but nobody used the gym.
Guys, look at that.
No diving, kids.
Oh, it's actually warm. Wow.
Oh, Mum's excited. The pool's actually warm.
So day 2, we decided would be our walking explore day. We took a bit of a detour to walk around the Venice canals, which were really beautiful. We found a first squirrel, which the kids were excited about.
You found it. You were excited about it.
I was excited about it. The kids wanted to photograph it because it was our first squirrel. So
we had to stop in the middle of the road.
It was cool though.
With cars to get a photo of this squirrel.
It was cool.
We got the photo.
It was really cool. So we walked around the canals. We didn't die, no, but nearly. We then walked down to Venice Beach by the canals, and we stopped off at Muscle Beach to have a look at the area. Kaylin liked using the punching bag. Nearly broke her wrist, but she was pretty cool. And
Ryan tried to. And also hurt his wrist.
And then we went for a walk down, which was really cool. There were a lot of interesting, quirky shops and a lot of tourist shops and ice cream, had some really cool ice cream and things to look at. And we hit Santa Monica where we could see the Ferris wheel on the end, so the kids were pretty excited at this point.
And Ryan was stressed out because he'd seen a show called 911.
Oh, yeah.
Where he was paranoid that there was going to be a tsunami on there.
Yep, so he was a little bit reluctant to go. But we got there and the kids were in awe of all the rides, which was pretty cool. It was like a big giant carnival set on the pier. It was pretty fun. We walked up the bridge and walked along and went to, where was it that we went for lunch?
So yeah, we went to Teddy's Red Tacos on Venice Beach.
They were really good tacos and Kaylin ate them, which was good as well.
There's so many good Mexican restaurants in that area. It's like every second restaurant is a Mexican restaurant, and from all reports, they're all good.
We then went back, packed our bags up, ready to catch a flight to head to Toronto.
It was roughly a 4.5-hour flight to Toronto. We arrived at Toronto and then had a hour-and-a-half drive from there to the Canada side of Niagara Falls in Clifton Hills.
Which was a pretty good drive. The Uber driver was really nice.
The Uber driver was nice, even though Leash gave him a heart attack when
I thought I was stealing his car because I went in the wrong side of the car.
She jumped in his side of the car thinking it was the passenger seat, as it would be in Australia, but obviously opposite side everything. The guy's face when he thought she was about to jump and steal his car. I was messing around with a kid's seat with him, so it looked like I was the decoy and she was stealing the car. It was the perfect crime. But anyway, we didn't steal the car. He was nice, and we still got our 5-star Uber rating from him, so so he mustn't have been that angry. But we stayed in a place called the Days Inn, which was in Clifton Hills. Clifton Hills is a really interesting...
Like a mini Vegas, very eclectic.
It's like a mini Vegas for kids,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Less, it's just all attractions and flashing lights. It was late at night when we arrived because the time zones, we lost another couple of hours.
Just after midnight.
It was about midnight when we arrived, so we basically just went to the Days Inn hotel and went to bed. The next day, I had organised the Niagara Falls Pass. The Niagara Falls Pass is great. It includes a bunch of attractions in Niagara Falls. The first thing we did was we just grabbed some lunch. We went to a place called Smoke's Poutineery and got the poutine.
Chips with gravy and cheese melted on the top.
I loved it. Leish loved it. Ryan loved it.
Kaylin
Kaylin hated it, which is going to be the trend for the trip we're feeling. We then walked down from there to the Falls View Incline Railway, which was included in the Falls Pass. Basically, it is like a cable car that goes up and down with a view on the falls. That was a great way to first see the falls.
It was pretty cool.
At the base of the Incline Railway, there was Niagara's Fury, which is basically it's a
simulated ride.
It's a simulated ride where you go in and there's the falls all around you. It sprays water. It has wind. The floor moved. It gave you a bit of fake snow. And then outside there, we went to the Niagara Parks power station and tunnel.
That was pretty cool. It showed all the old machinery from when the tunnels and the plant were used for electricity and generating energy.
Leisha and Ryan were reading up on everything.
Really cool.
Me and Kaylin were more focused on wanting to go to the tunnel, which is a part of that. Basically, the power station is closed down and it's no longer operational, and it's now being created as a bit of a museum. But there's a large glass lift within the power station that goes down 6 levels below the power station to a tunnel.
And it talks about how the people created the tunnels and how their shafts were set up and the intricate design of all the levels and how that they had to get through by ladders and using TNT to get through, which was pretty cool considering modern day technology versus back then. They didn't have all the tools and resources that we have.
But it was quite a long tunnel. It basically takes you from the power station under the road, under the visitor centre and everything, and then comes out just below the falls. Really cool experience again on the Falls Pass. We then went out for dinner at a place called Yank's Old Niagara Bar. It was okay. It was kind of pizza and buffalo wings and beer and we got chips.
We got chips for Kaylin
because Kaylin fussy eating. So we have Niagara Falls in the background, one of the wonders of the world. And instead of walking along the falls so we can look at that, we're in a park looking for squirrels. Look, there's a squirrel. There's one. The next morning we got up and we went to a place called Sippy's Place for breakfast.
which is a really cool diner.
Yeah, it was really cool. Canadians love breakfasts. It seems like most places are open for breakfast and a good percentage of them close by like 2 o'clock p.m.
This place was really good though. It was only one person who ran the place and he had someone wait tables and his father owned the place, so it was a very old-fashioned diner that hadn't changed much since.
Yeah, it's cool. He kind of like, he yells out from the counter, "What do you want?" sort of thing, and then he makes it himself and takes the payments and does everything. So it was kind of like a roadhouse. It's one of the few older ones left around here. He was excited when we left to hear that Australians came in there. It seemed like most of the people there were local drivers and then a few tourists that had heard it was a good place like us. But yeah, no, that was really good food. Giant pancakes, quite cheap too. We then went to Journey Behind the Falls. So Journey Behind the Falls, similar to the tunnel, it has a view, I guess, of under the falls, but it's actually around the corner, so it's much closer. They gave us all ponchos.
Which the kids liked wearing.
Which, yeah, the kids had fun wearing, but basically we wear the ponchos because you do get really wet there. It actually takes you right beside the falls, just around the corner from the tunnel itself. We were really glad we did this. Again, it was on the pass, which was good, but we were weighing up whether or not to do this or the Hornblower.
Which I was a bit more reluctant to do because we heard that the water was a little bit full on and a bit rocky.
And because it's in the mist, apparently they were saying that it does, I guess, block the view somewhat. Whereas this one, we had a really clear view of the falls coming over the rock, which was really cool. It even had a view from behind the fall as well, so you can actually see the water from behind. There was a hole in the rock, so you can actually see it from behind as well, which was really, really impressive.
There was a bit of an outlook place where you could see right in the side of it, which was really good.
Yeah, would have liked to have done the Hornblower, but yeah, I feel like this was better value for money. We then went back into Clifton Hills. There are so many attractions there, and so many of them were things like wax museums or Ripley's things that we've done similar things before. So we decided the best thing there to do, we'd pick one activity to do with the kids. We chose the Niagara Speedway. Basically, it was like a massive go-kart track. But it was like Mario Kart. It was like there was 3 levels and there was a ramp. So one point, it's kind of like a mix of a roller coaster and a go-kart track, which was kids.
It was really cool.
The kids have said that's the best thing about being here so far. So while we were waiting for the Niagara Speedway to see what the line was like, Leash was just sitting there. So she got she got approached by people going, "Hey, do you want to fill out this survey?" Which got us $5 Canadian
we got
each.
$5.
Big win.
Which was pretty cool. Andy thought it was a hoax.
I thought it was. I was like, this is a scam. People don't just give you something for nothing.
But we got $5 each for doing a survey.
But it wasn't. And then some person came over with a camera and said, "Hey, would you talk on camera for a free burger?" And she said yes, and we got free burgers.
So I got free burgers.
So she walked away with $10 Canadian, which is about 11 Australian dollars,
and 2 free burgers.
And 2 free burgers,
which
from
were really good.
5 minutes of sitting on there, and neither of them was a scam, we think.
Well, Andy thinks it was a scam, but the $5
but whatever, we got $10 and 2 burgers, so it was
good.
Then we went out and we saw the Niagara Falls at night. So they project lights onto the falls, which are really cool because I guess at night it's kind of hard to see the falls, but it gives a really different perspective of things, and it's a cool experience. So they lit them up in Canadian and American colours and flashing lights.
American side.
Both the Horseshoe Falls, the Canadian ones, and the American Falls as well. It would have been nice to see more of Canada, but it's been good. It's been good to, I guess, see a little bit of it. The next day we got up. It was because that was our last night at the Days Inn, so staying in the Clifton Hills area. We got up and we moved to the Great Wolf Lodge.
Yep.
Which is where I am now on the poorly made bed. But we got up and came here, and this was one really for the kids. Great Wolf Lodge. No,
although it is cool.
The whole place is just themed for kids. There's characters around. There's restaurants. There's trees that if you put your hand on them, they talk.
It's all Native American animals and big log hut.
But it's got a gigantic water park here with something like 25 water slides and stuff, and that's all included. So we basically came in here. We dropped our bags off because it was still too early to check in.
Went for lunch.
Yeah, we went for a walk to, what was the place called?
Highlight Restaurant.
It
was really, really good.
Yeah, it was another diner.
We got sandwiches and...
The kids got more giant pancakes, all the pancakes.
Choc chip ones this time. Which they liked.
And then we went to Taps Brew House, which was just around the corner from there, had a couple of beers, which was nice. And then we were really glad to find a supermarket, which we've struggled to find in the Clifton Hills area. It's like there was nothing. There were some convenience stores, but they were more, I guess,
geared for tourists,
merchandise, souvenir stores that happen to sell Coke and chips rather than
fruit and veggies
convenience stores. So it was good to find a supermarket, so we grabbed some rolls and healthy food for a change, which was nice. The next day we got up early, we went to the Whirlpool Aero Car, which
was good, except I'm still scared of heights, so that was...
Alicia's scared of heights, so she did well, she was brave, she had to...
I was very brave.
...show the kids that heights aren't that bad, so that was really cool, that went along. I guess we'd seen a lot of the falls, but not so much of the Niagara River.
To cross the border 4 times.
Yeah, so cross the border 4 times from one side to the other. Okay, there's basically a V of which you're crossing. So that was cool. You got to see an, overhead view of the Niagara River.
And they give you a bit of a history on the river
and the whirlpools.
Why people can't go in the water, and there were people fishing.
Whirlpools, yeah.
There were whirlpools.
They're basically stage 6 rapids, so you can't whitewater raft or anything like that.
But there were people fishing on the side.
There were people fishing on the side. And we came back, Kaylin wasn't feeling amazing, so we had a bit of a rest day, but then went back to the water slides in the afternoon.
The boys are going, where are they going? What colour slide? Green. Now Brian wants to go down by himself, and Andy's going by after. Kaylin can't go on, why can't you go on? She's too little, so she's got to chill with me. And it might be fast, do you reckon it's fast?
Yeah.
And Ryan can't go on the drop slide, either can Kaylin.
Because the drop slide's fast, so water just shoots out of you, and then you've got bed, and then you could get stuck in the tree.
Like Andy.
Yeah. It was really funny. Dad actually got stuck in the tree. He was the brave one. He's like, I'm not going to do that. I won't do that. But he did.
And Mummy's too scared because she's a wuss. And she goes on with Kaylin and Ryan.
And on that yellow one, it wasn't that bad. And she said, I need a vomit. But it's not. She doesn't need to.
I don't like slides.
Slides are the best. I don't know why she doesn't like them, because sometimes if you have a bad day, I can help. Like, this morning I had a really sore tummy. It felt like I needed to vom. I think the slides helped me a little.
I think sleep helped you a little bit.
No, it did not.
They're cold, they're wet, and they're fast. You having a good time?
Yeah. I feel like this is probably the best hotel I've been to, because it has indoor water slides.
Did Daddy choose a good hotel?
Yeah.
What would you rate it out of 10? 10? 10?
We got pizza at the resort lodge,
Huge pizza.
which we thought, oh, okay, I hope that's big enough. It was definitely big enough. We've got leftovers. Kind of to today. So this morning we went to Whitewater Walk, which is basically a walk along the Niagara River. So we did the aero car where you could see it from above, but that's more of a walk along the river itself.
Just a different perspective.
Again, included on the like the aero car and all the other things we've done. I guess attractions there, bar the go-karts. It was all included on the pass, so might as well have done it. So yeah, we had some time to kill today. Since we said we were coming on this trip, Kaylin has been saying that every one of these power stations that we've gone past said that it's the Eiffel Tower. It's been a thing, oh, it's the Eiffel Tower, and we say, no, it's not the Eiffel Tower. Basically, she's just owned up that it's been a plan she's had since day one, and that when we actually go to the Eiffel Tower, she's going to look up and go, yeah, no, that's not the Eiffel Tower, that's just a power station. Thanks, Kale. We are about to check out of the Great Wolf Lodge because we have a 11:30 overnight sleeper bus to New York.
So I have to keep the kids awake.
So that's going to be fun. So we've got the pass here until 8 o'clock. We can still use all the water slides, but we need to get out of our room. So we'll put our bags in storage. We'll go out. We'll use the water parks until 8 o'clock, grab some dinner, and hopefully get to our sleeper bus where we'll be going to New York. Bye.
search for you every night till I cross the borderline. I see your star in the blackened sky without warning, no goodbye. I'm gonna search for you every night till I cross the borderline. Star in the blackened sky without warning, no goodbye. I'm gonna search for you every night till I cross the borderline.
Record for the most floor signs goes to this lobby. Just in case you were wondering, the floor is in fact wet.
This is the adult only area. I have Pitch, Karen and Ryan and Angie to go and see what it's all about. Got nice morning here. I don't think I'm ever in that area. The older area was really good. I would have stayed all day up there, but then I got busy because I needed to the kids. So I'm now hiding and they're coming to find me. I've been found.
What?
What?
They want to wave.
Ah, good one.